Greetings, Starfighter. You are about to listen to the totally super awesome 80s Reboot Overdrive podcast. Always remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Ready Player One.
Touchstone Pictures presents Eddie, Jessica, and Roger. A man, a woman, a rabbit in a triangle of trouble.
Hide me, Eddie! Please!
Roger's wanted for murder. Jessica's wanted by Eddie. Eddie's wanted by Roger.
Jessica! Daddy! Oh, honey bunny.
It's the greatest adventure a man, a woman, and a rabbit ever had. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a Steven Spielberg presentation, a Robert Zemeckis film.
The story of greed, sex, and murder.
Rated PG. Starts Wednesday, June 22nd at a theater near you.
All right, welcome everybody. This is 80's Reboot Overdrive, and tonight we are covering 1988 movies. So we're going to be picking our top three, as we've done in the previous year format. So we're going to see how far we can go along in this podcast without somebody muttering the lines, yippee-ki-yay. So in this...
you just failed right there.
Well, what we'll do is we'll introduce a drinking game for all the 80s Reboot fans. Every time you hear a yippee-ki-yay, take a shot.
Yippee-ki-yay. 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 Yippee-ki-yay.
All right, so we've got Scott online.
Hi, everybody.
We've got Nick.
88, definitely 88. Yes, 88.
Nice.
And we've got Matt.
Greetings.
So, 1988, just based on the Twitter feed, we have just a lot of good input. So, a lot of good choices with 88. So, I'm really excited to find out where our co-hosts are going with this. And also, I want to see how many of our picks kind of get stumbled over each other. I think let's get started. I want to see Scott. Let's see what you got.
I'm starting out with you got Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, a couple others. Cameron, what's this? I can't remember his
Alan Ruck
name. Yes, and then you got Young Guns, and it's a really fun Western. Why'd you kill a man, Billy? Because he was hacking on me. It's good stuff. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. Definitely in my DVD collection, my dwindling DVD collection.
I know, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's sort of like the Tiger Beats Western. Like they were all like the hot young star guys at the time. But freaking Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lou Diamond. Yeah, I was trying to remember his name. Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah.
I like that one scene where Billy was like, "I'd love to see the gun that's going to kill Billy the Kid," and he sits there and empties it. Yeah, that was just awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Then they made a sequel, which...
let's not talk about that.
No.
Because I don't think it wasn't very good at all. It failed in comparison by far. Oh.
Now, the phrase where Billy kept saying, "Yoo-hoo, I'll make you famous," was that all in the second one, or was that at all in the first one? Or do you guys even remember what I'm talking about?
I remember the line now, but I don't remember which one it was in.
I haven't seen Young Guns in years, so I'm useless here. Don't even...
Yeah.
I'm not a big Young Guns fan.
Really?
Okay.
No.
Do tell.
It's just... It got to the point where I think 1988 is like the year that Hollywood broke. It just became a machine. And Young Guns is just part of that machine. Just pump it out and see if somebody goes.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear your list then. This ought to be interesting. This is going to be good.
But Scott, I'm with you. Young Guns, that was a pick of mine. So yeah. I had to readjust because of you were going with that.
All right then. Cool.
Yeah, very cool. I like that one. All right, so Nick, you're up next.
The first one I'm definitely picking is one because it's one of the very first movies I can remember both loving and at the end especially being absolutely terrified. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I love that movie to death. That's like on my house fire list, aka movies I will watch even if the house is on fire. But The very end, man, I was about 6 years old when that movie came out, and my mom, bless her, she was working in an office. She wanted the day off from school that day, and I was being very calm in her office, not really doing anything, and she said, "Oh, let's go see a movie. Yeah, that Roger Rabbit, that's got cartoons in it. You love cartoons." And it had Bugs Bunny and Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse and all that, and it was great. I was loving it. I didn't understand a damn thing about it, especially like the Cloverleaf plot. And then Judge Doom happened at the very end.
Oh, well. Is that the Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah.
That was pretty creepy. He did that was
Well,
it was
He just melted.
dark twist.
Yeah, not only like he was creepy when he was Judge Doom, but then when he was revealed as a Toon and that line, "When I killed your brother, I talked," and I can't get up that high, but I talked just like this, and yeah, no, I spent the rest of that movie with my hand, like my face behind my hands,
Oh wow.
and for years I would watch the entire movie up till like right to that point, and I would have to turn it off. I love that movie. I mean, on a happier note, I think it's just a great, it's got a whole nice smorgasbord full of stuff. It's got the cool animated characters. It's got the detective story. Did you guys see it?
Oh,
yeah.
my God, yes.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was really clever, and all the voices that were in it were pretty fun too.
Mhm.
You have what's her name?
Kathleen
Turner.
Kathleen Turner. Thank you.
Jessica.
Yeah,
And she wasn't actually credited in the credits. If you look, she wasn't, for whatever reason, credited.
really.
Yeah.
I don't think they credited Roger either, did they?
Oh, no, that was Charles Fleischer. He was,
Yeah, no, but did they credit him?
yeah, I think they did.
No.
And then, of course, you got Bob Hoskins. That was my first exposure to Bob Hoskins. I'm sorry, I was a little too young for the Long Good Friday. But,
Or in a Mona Lisa Smiles.
exactly.
Was he the one that was in Moonstruck too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Now, am I remembering this right? When they were trying to kill off the Toons, was there a thing called the dip?
The dip.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, the dip.
Turpentine, acetone, and benzene. All real paint solvents. But,
Smile,
then a
darn
point-
yes, smile.
oh, and then the shoe scene, if you want to talk about, childhood trauma right there. When he demonstrates the dip in the little innocent shoe and just dips it right in there, and I think even my mom, you could just feel her like shift, just like.
I
But I take my son to.
I think I went and saw Roger Rabbit in the theaters, like, religiously. I saw it, like, in the theaters about 5 or 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then when all the shorts came out, I actually went out and saw whatever movie they were attached to. So I ended up seeing God knows what. I can't even remember. I think Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
The Kids, yeah. I remember that, yep.
And I think it was attached to Dick Tracy after that.
Makes
There was
sense.
the third one, I don't remember.
Now, I don't remember if anyone remembers this because they did, like, as part of the marketing blitz, they would bring out Roger Rabbit figures, but due to the toony nature of it, they were all sort of rubbery, and you could sort of pose him in weird toony poses.
Yeah, he had the wires inside, right? The rubber with the wires inside. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yep, that was a great movie. I just thought it was clever. The opening cartoon is hysterical.
Yep. And then it pulls the camera pulls back and.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it kind of did a little psych you out kind of thing where you thought you were watching like a cartoon and you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was going to have some live action in it.
Yeah, but then
And then all of a sudden it changed on you.
And like
Wizard of Oz type thing.
Mm-hmm. And like I guess you see the backstage like at the very beginning when you see the mother's legs, but when it pulls the camera out, like the mother's legs are like a giant prop.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a robot, like kind of a robotic legs that they're using to move around. Yeah.
Yep.
Baby Herman walks under somebody's skirt.
Oh, and that's another thing about it. There are so many jokes you don't get until you're just a little bit older.
Yeah.
Baby Herman was such a naughty little baby.
15-year-old a 3-year-old dinky.
Yeah, or I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way, or something.
I was waiting for somebody to use that line.
Yeah, it's great.
Any young man of age, Jessica Rabbit.
All right, so Matt, what do you got for us?
Well, I guess I should do a shout out since I live tweeted this stupid movie on Saturday. I watched Just by coincidence, I ended up watching Dead Heat with Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams.
Ouch. Did you watch the whole thing?
Oh, I watched the whole thing. Yeah. Watched all the little punny names, like Treat Williams' names, Roger Mortis.
Oh, my.
You run into Mr. Thule.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody remember what the movie's about?
I have no idea.
Two mortuary guys, right?
They starts off.
I've got it just because I just brought it up on IMDb.
Yeah, they start off with a big shootout scene, and they're trying to stop bank robbers at the beginning of the movie, and they shoot them up with literally hundreds of bullets. These guys don't fall down, so Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo go about looking for why they don't fall down. They end up finding out that they're zombies.
Oh, right.
Then Treat Williams ends up dying in the same facility where they bring the zombies back. So then he becomes a zombie. He's got 10 hours to live before he just completely disintegrates. So what do you do with the 10 hours? You go out and solve the crime.
Yeah, I suppose it's a very constructive way to live.
With such memorable lines as, "Roger, you were underwater for more than 5 minutes." "I know. Can you teach my girlfriend to do that?"
Oh, my gosh.
PG-13.
Those are...
Kids don't read into that.
No. Harry, everyone.
Did have a cool scene with the girlfriend disintegrates on screen. I think it's on YouTube. You can go look it up if you want to look. It's pretty interesting.
The only reason to really look at the movie is to
that's about it.
Now, Treat Williams, I mean, what else has he really done?
A lot of character work.
I don't know. TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think he's always been a good, like, if it calls for like a slimy guy, he's always been really good at that.
What else has Joe Piscopo done?
Oh, well, no, I think this killed Joe Piscopo, no pun intended. But because wasn't he, like, you'll have to maybe enlighten me, he was supposed to be the next big thing of SNL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And never sort of happened.
Oh, and special guest star Vincent Price.
Oh,
nice.
Very special.
It was a fun... If you want to go back and look at my Twitter feed, it's not very good, but I like it. Let's just say I had a few drinks in me at that point.
Ringing endorsement. Don't go check it out. It's not that good, but why not? Just check it out, I guess, if you got time to kill.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're just... I don't remember what I saw it on. It was on Netflix or one of those streaming services. It's just scrolling through them like, Dead Heat. What the hell is that?
Now, is that with the pumped up Joe Piscopo?
Oh yeah, he's very pumped up.
Steroid loaded. He was huge at that point.
Yeah, he was pretty big.
I'm watching the DK. Oh, nice. Her arm just fell off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I like not just the arm falling off, but I like the way her skin changed color.
Yeah.
Well, that's just one camera shot. I kind of wondered how they did that.
I'll wait and check it out when I'm ready to put it on the 80's Reboot Overdrive Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I gave you guys a first round. No one brought this up, so since my first round pick was taken by Scott with Young Guns, I've got to go with Die Hard. So that wasn't actually my first pick. Young Guns was it, but
Yippee-ki-yay!
Yippee-ki-yay!
Best Christmas movie ever made.
So you can't go wrong. John McClane, Hans. I mean, come on.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, I mean, come on, say something bad about this movie. You just can't.
You could say things bad about the sequels, but no, the first one is holy.
Right, exactly.
The first one's really good. I loved it. Lots of great... It took action movies to another level, I think. A lot of people started copying similar movies to that. And actually, I did work in that building at one point.
Nakatomi building there, whatever it's called there?
Yeah, it was in Century City, and in near LA there. And this was when I lived in Southern California. I worked for an electrical contractor, and we did some work. I just did deliveries for him, but I went up into the building and had to move some electrical equipment around. And yeah, it was right before the movie came out too. I didn't even know it was going to be in there.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm like, I did work in that building. It's kind of cool.
Before they blew it up.
Yeah.
Which goes back to my point that 1988 broke Hollywood.
Oh, a diehard hater.
I'm not a diehard hater. I love Die Hard. But
okay.
It copied the movie. Was copied incessantly.
Yes,
incessantly.
Although I have to say one thing that it was probably copied, but it wasn't copied as much as some of the other stuff. Is the idea of John McClane as this very vulnerable hero. I mean, for 90% of the movie, or pretty much all the movie, he's got no shoes.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Barefoot, just cut bare feet all over the place, bleeding all over. Yeah.
Yeah, but after a while, you just go, this is just getting ridiculous. Like, nobody can hit this guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of bullets flying, and not hitting him is pretty amazing.
Well, come on, that was all about the 80s, right? I mean, we were watching A-Team, and that was just kind of like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. You got to just say that you got to think that those terrorists were just really lousy shots.
Yep. And Hans and Carl, they do. But
they learned from all those stormtroopers.
but Hans Gruber, I think one of the great cinema villains, even if he was only in one movie.
I'll agree with that.
Very in control. Definitely. Very in control from the very beginning, and gave us. I think it was an ad lib, actually, one of the best lines. Mr. Takagi didn't agree with us, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
That was an ad lib?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a pretty good villain. That guy played a pretty good villain.
I like the part where he's, that's a nice suit. It'd be a shame to, ruin it.
Yep. I hear Arafat buys his there.
Oh, you got the accent down, man.
Oh, thank you. And I have watched the movie probably more times than is healthy. You really just have to imitate Alan Rickman.
And let's not forget to do a shout out to Sergeant Al Powell for Twinkies.
Yep.
Gotta have Twinkies in there.
And he was able to overcome his crippling shooting issue.
Yep.
Just in time.
Mm-hmm.
Then the clueless police chief. I always loved him. Remember the chief who was like refusing to believe that anything like major was going on even after someone fell out the window?
Deputy Police Chief Dwayne T. Robinson.
Yep.
Played by Paul Gleason.
Yep. Great 80s character actor there, but yep. And then Agents Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson.
No relation.
Oh, good times. Shot time again. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay!
See, the problem is we have to finish it. We can't.
I know. We can't finish the line.
I know.
If we all finish it at the end, could you just bleep it out later?
I'll find a good bleeping sound effect to add to it. All right, so we're going around again. Scott, what do you got for us for round 2?
Well, I just happened to come. I was over at the mall. I had to go down to, we just moved into town, and we went to this mall, or I went to this mall without my wife to get something. I can't remember what it was. But in the mall, by itself, was a Zoltar.
I saw your Facebook post.
Nice.
Yes, and I just put it on Twitter too, and it was the Zoltar, and I love that movie. That was great. Tom Hanks was fun in it. He really did. He did a great job acting like a kid, and it was probably fun for him to do, to just go back to like being just nutty, crazy kid, and he went into much more serious roles after that. But how can you not forget the piano scene and the Toy Store scene, and his whole attitude. You got John Lovitz. Slow down, kid, or slow down, you're making me look bad, at the office when he first gets the job. And it's fun. It's a fun movie.
I heard that Penny Marshall actually filmed all the scenes of the young Josh, and then Tom Hanks redid the scenes acting like the young kid.
Oh,
Really?
That's actually
Yeah.
sounds like a pretty cool technique. That's
Right.
You know, she turned out to be a really good director.
yeah.
You would have never guessed it coming from Laverne and Shirley that she would be like this huge producer director later on in life.
Well, who'd have thought
Yeah.
Opie would do it either?
Yeah, that's true. Ron Howard, amazing.
There's this place downtown where I live called Newbury Comics. It's a northeastern chain, primarily Massachusetts-based, but they have a Zoltar in there
Nice.
that actually works and it talks and yeah, I walked in there and I immediately geeked out. I didn't have any change though.
I'm just glad I had my phone with me or something to take a picture with when I ran across that one. I don't think I've ever seen another one in real life.
So how much does that cost? Is it still a quarter?
You know what? I didn't even try. I was kind of in a hurry.
It's probably
You guys really disappoint me.
I know.
You didn't get your fortune. I mean, come on.
Here's my quarter.
Okay.
Come on, guys. This is the
All right.
80s.
I'm sorry, dude,
I
but
would
if
have
I run
mugged
into
somebody for a
Zoltar,
quarter. Would have beat somebody for a
Okay,
quarter.
next time I'm
Give me that quarter.
I'll make sure to have a quarter so I can go get my fortune told. And I'm gonna go in reverse. I'm not gonna wish I was big. I'm gonna wish I was a kid again. Damn it.
Isn't
Scott,
it?
Nick, you are on probation.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm sorry there. Oh. I'm sorry there, Valley Girl.
You know, honestly,
I would have made my kids do it first too. Like, you go first.
It kind of freaked me out a little bit. You know, like it's got that weird little, and it talks to you. It talks to you as you're walking by, and it says weird. You know, and that's what caught my attention as I was because it was kind of facing the direction that I was heading. So it didn't catch my eye out of the corner of my eye on my left until it said something. I turned around, I'm like, no way. And it was, yeah. So I took a picture of it at least. Maybe I'll have to go back. You know what the thing is? I'm going to go back now, and it's going to be gone. I'm going to have to go through this long, process of calling the county of try to figure out where this thing might have been moved to.
Have your childhood friend try to find it for you.
Yeah, and I'll have to, I'll have to write a letter that will take 6 weeks to process, and
I wish the mail was faster.
But Scott, you're out of a job, so you can actually get a job at a toy company while you wait.
And go play with Frank Langoria, right?
Well,
I forgot he was in that. Yeah.
If I'm doing my math right, you'll do what? 80?
Yeah, he's not jumping around on no piano.
Yeah.
So no, wait a minute. It's a building that turns into a robot?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What fun is that? It's a building. Wow.
All right, so we've beaten Big to death.
Yes,
Nick,
we have.
Nick, what do you got?
Okay, let's see. My second one, and I was gonna save this for my third, but I'm gonna jump on it in case any of you guys have it. In honor of the late, great Roddy Piper, I have to go for "They Live."
Definitely.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest fight scenes ever put to celluloid.
Absolutely. I just watched it.
Bubble gum
and I'm all
screwed me all up. Come to chew bubble gum and kick ass. I'm all out of
bubble gum. Yeah. I gotta tell you guys though, but Piper was my favorite wrestler from the 80s.
Was he?
Yes.
Well, he was a great heel.
Loved watching Piper's Pit.
I have to agree. He's the main reason that I watched wrestling. I think more than anybody else. It's the only reason I watched wrestling.
Yeah, and I've never been a big wrestling fan at all. I mean, I did go see like some one of those what do you call it, the match where like 15 wrestlers are all in the
Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble with and Andre Johnson was there, or Andre the Giant, I mean.
Andre Johnson.
Yeah. Who's Andre Johnson? Who's Andre Johnson? Anyway, Andre the Giant, and that guy was huge. But I think Roddy might have been at that one too. I mean, they were that was the era of those wrestlers, and Hulk Hogan, and I don't know if he was there, but it was a lot of fun.
If Roddy was there, he was probably there. But
Those
like
guys were always together.
And at least, this is more my part of the 80s, but they had that cartoon, Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling, with, where Roddy Piper and pretty much every wrestler with a foreign ethnicity were the bad guys versus Hulk Hogan and his crew.
In the 80s.
Like the Iron Sheik and
Mr. Fuji.
Everywhere. Wrestling was everywhere.
The Rock and Wrestling thing with Cyndi Lauper and all that, the connection. But
right. What was that guy's name?
Captain Lou.
Captain
Albano.
Yeah, tie that back to the Goonies. Yeah,
They used to have professional wrestling, like on Friday night on NBC.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was like, if you're in prime time on a major network, you're big.
Yeah, every kid in my neighborhood, knew the wrestler. Every boy especially knew the knew the names of the wrestlers, but out of every wrestler that tried to get into acting, and with the exception, of course, of The Rock, I think Rowdy had one of the better entrances into the acting world.
Oh, come on, Hulk Hogan, Rocky III.
Well, yeah, okay, Thunder Lips, yes. He wasn't really big. That was before he got before Hulkamania, though.
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought Rowdy was he was awesome in that movie. I love the premise of that movie. Actually, it was one of my top picks. It'd be in my top 10 for sure.
The consumerism message, and instead of "In God We Trust," you look at the dollar. It says, "This is your God." That. But it also backs the damn fight scene.
If you guys ever get a chance, Roddy Piper, he did a podcast, and a lot of it was based on interviewing wrestling greats from back then. But he actually did a interview with Carpenter where he was talking to him about how he got picked for They Live. So if you ever get a chance, I recommend doing a Google search and try to find it.
Oh damn! Now I'm gonna have to now.
But it's just wonderful where Carpenter was just very openly talking to Rowdy about why he picked him over like a mainstream actor for the role, and it was just very cool because he could tell because Piper was so it was out of his niche, and he was trying so hard to be good, and he didn't want to suck. And so, because he put so much determination into it, Carpenter saw that in him and said, that's why I picked you.
Nice.
So I'd recommend checking it out. It was a really cool interview.
Put on my glasses. Put them on.
Put them on. Now,
it's a 20-minute fight scene too.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Is this gonna end?
It's over the top, and it's
just when you think it's winding down, just comes back.
And I can't remember who sent it to me, but somebody sent me the link to watch this fight scene just like earlier this week. I think it might have been Jesse.
Oh, because I know I posted it on my Facebook.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yep.
That's where I saw it. And I watched it, and you can tell they are totally pulling the punches. It's like so. I mean, it's you can see how they're like missing each other.
Yeah,
they're not even.
But they're selling it though.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
I
mean, just the noises they make, just
great David Keith.
Keith David.
Or Keith David. Yeah. Keith David. Dude with two names.
Yep. David, because there's an actor, David Keith, so yeah, I can see the.
Yeah, I know. It's bizarre.
But I and he had a great line in that fight scene that I obviously can't repeat here, but everyone knows it. But I don't know, like if any of you here played the game Saints Row 4. Well, in that game, for one reason or another, you're the president of the United States. Long story, but Keith David is your vice president, and there's a point where he goes insane, and the only person who can take him down, a rampaging Keith David, is Roddy Piper, and they actually brought him in there to do it.
Perfect.
It shows a reenactment of the fight scene.
Matt, what do you got for us?
I don't know. You guys took everything.
Oh, come on. There's good ones. There's other good ones out there.
Well, then I'm just going to go bad.
Okay.
Oh, do it.
That's good. We love that.
I am going to eviscerate one of the greatest cinema, horrendous pieces of film ever to exist.
Oh, do tell.
I can't wait.
No, wait
I
for this to be one
cannot
of my
wait.
picks.
Y'all know where I'm going. We
Uh,
gotta talk about it, because it just exists. It's a 90-minute commercial. It's Mac and Me.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Jeez.
God, that alien.
This thing is... It's just a ripoff of E.T. It's 90 minutes long.
Yep.
All they're doing is eating McDonald's, drinking Coke, eating Skittles
Yep.
for 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yep. He loves the fries, so he sucks down the fries.
And it's capped off with a dance number at a McDonald's with Ronald McDonald.
Come on.
No,
Serious.
McDonald's paid a hefty
Serious.
fee for that friggin' movie.
They did.
Oh my gosh.
They paid to produce the movie, and it's just a 90-minute commercial selling all their products.
Now, I knew it was a bad movie, and that's probably why I never watched it. I knew it was going to be horrendous. You could just tell by the trailer, but I never did see it. But wow, that's really bad. Dance
You have
routine.
to see it.
Oh man!
And-
All right, I'll put it
it's
on
just-
my list of bad movies to watch when I got time to kill.
It's just
No.
to make it worse. The kid's in a wheelchair.
Yes!
Like the kid's in a wheelchair, and then they dress up the alien in this creepy little teddy bear thing. I don't even
Yeah.
know how to
Yeah,
Was
like
it-
that. Like that.
explain it. And everybody buys it. It's
Was
just
it
a
as
toy.
bad as Michael Anthony Hall's Norm the Gnome?
Yes. Worse.
It was worse.
Is it what now?
Norm the Gnome. Yeah. I don't know what year that was, but it reminds me of that because it's that same little like character thing that it wasn't an alien, it was a gnome, but not like a garden gnome, not like
this
those.
this isn't even like a real person. It's like a puppet thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you think of the wonderful ways they were able to make E.T. feel like a real life thing, and then this dead-eyed monster with a little O face.
And Mac and Me is the exact opposite of They Live.
Yep.
Oh
yeah. I would love to see a crossover.
I just found a trivia that is just, I don't know, crazy. It's Jennifer Aniston's film debut.
No.
Oh my gosh.
According to IMDb, yes, it is.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
How would you like that to be your first film credit?
Well, I mean, she's in Leprechaun, so I think she had other things to worry about after that. But
Yeah.
Oh,
But how many
Jennifer.
times have you gone to McDonald's and you just break out into dance numbers? In the parking lot and in the restaurant. It's not
and-
just it's bizarre.
Oh, she was a dancer in the McDonald's scene.
I don't know.
oh,
No, I just looked it
okay.
up.
She
okay.
was?
I just looked it up.
So okay, so
I was trying to figure out what she did in that one.
I guess the kid in the wheelchair actually was really disabled, which lets a whole new dimension of the fact that he got shoved down that hill.
Yes. Yes, there's a running joke with he's Ant-Man.
Oh, Ben.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Every time he goes on Conan O'Brien to promote one of his movies, he always shows the same Mac and Me scene.
Yep, I remember seeing that now. Yeah. But I mean, I've been in a runaway manual wheelchair down the hill, and it's not a picnic. So I wonder how many times they had to do it to get that right. Because it didn't look like a dummy in there.
I just want to know who was. I really want somebody to make a documentary about Mac and Me because it's just the whole thing just feels wrong, like it shouldn't exist at all. And yet there it is. It's you can sit there and watch it.
Oh God.
So, would you rewatch the movie, or would you choose to watch the documentary about the movie?
I'd probably watch both. I mean, I'd probably watch the documentary and then go watch. I just watched the documentary about the island of Dr. Moreau from the 90s.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No.
Now you're talking about the
Trace-
original. You're talking about the original one, right?
No, I'm talking about the one with Marlon Brando.
And Val Kilmer.
Val
Oh,
Kilmer.
ouch.
Give him
Just
the
how nuts Marlon Brando was.
Yeah,
This
he
little
got-
mini me.
All right, so I'm going to go off of Mac and Me, and I'm going to give my next choice. And I'm afraid that you guys are just going to dog on this movie. But the movie's called Feds.
Feds.
Feds is actually it's got Rebecca De Mornay, Mary Gross, and what they're trying to do is they're in to become FBI agents. So they're in training, and then they end up, being thrust into this situation where they've got to be, real life agents or whatever. I mean, have you guys even heard of this one?
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar, but
Okay.
beyond that,
Yeah, so I'm really digging deep in the well on this one.
yeah, go for it, man.
I remember watching it just because I liked Rebecca De Mornay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she was very funny because she was the tough one.
Yeah.
And the other one that was Mary Gross, she played this character called Janice Zuckerman. Rebecca De Mornay played Elizabeth or Ellie DeWitt. And, it was kind of the tough cop and the smart cop. So they kind of helped each other out through training. One was like good with all the schoolwork and the other one was good with all the physical aspects of training. So, it was kind of a, overdone formula for a lot of movies. If you want to look at, go back to like maybe a Police Academy or something like that, it had the same kind of formula with, that kind of flavor where it had that kind of humor with it. But I thought it was a good movie.
And did she become an FBI agent?
Yeah, they both end up becoming FBI agents at the end.
Oh, good happy ending.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a requirement for all 80s movies. So, but if you guys haven't watched it, then there's really only me talking about it.
I thought we'd give you a mulligan and you could choose another.
All of a sudden, it feels like Valley Girl.
We found a successor to Valley Girl, gentlemen.
How about if we just throw a yippee-ki-yay out there? Everybody do a shot, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Dave and his chick movies.
Hey.
Hey, now, 80s Reboot is inclusive of everyone's cinema tastes.
Yes.
Even Dave's.
Ouch.
Well, it couldn't have been as bad as Mac and Me.
No, it couldn't.
No.
Not at all. Not by a long shot.
No, Fed's probably had a pedigree.
This is a good
Watching-
point.
Paint dry is better than Mac and Me.
Oh, well, I'm going to be painting one of my bathrooms soon, so I'll just sit and watch that instead of watching Mac and Me. Would that be better?
It might be.
Will that excuse go over well, do you think? Or,
Yeah.
If you watch Mac and Me, you might gain a few pounds because you'll feel the urge to go to McDonald's.
Oh, boy.
But then follow that up with like Super Size Me, and I think you'll be all right.
Man, I am really craving a Big Mac.
It'll be a double feature.
It's just like right in the name. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, how bad can this movie be?
All right, so yippee-ki-yay. Scott, it's your turn.
I decided to go a little sci-fi,
Right.
and I loved this movie, Alien Nation. James Caan,
very cool.
Mandy Patinkin. It was really cool. I just thought I love those the Alien movies of the 80s were awesome. You like the TV show when it spun off with Alien Nation, and then you had V, which was a great series.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that stuff. This is it was just really cool. It was well done. It was interesting how they integrated these guys into society in a different way than your normal alien that come in, you know. So anyway, yeah, it was good stuff. And I did not realize that was Mandy Patinkin until I looked it up. So I looked at the movie. I'm like, wow, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
And James Caan. I mean, James Caan. So, yeah.
No, it just starts out with the usual, like, gruff cop, doesn't want a new partner, and, it starts out with that cliche, but then it there's layers to it, like, his old partner was killed by, a newcomer, and then he learns about their culture, and then becomes a better person because of it. But.
Yeah, this movie is really a really smart movie, and it's really surprising. It bombed, of course, because it was smart.
Yeah, I love that the aliens get drunk on sour milk.
Yeah. They spent a lot of time on building a world for these aliens, which I thought was fantastic. And it's just played on all the cliches that you would expect, like it would be aliens, so they're all bad, but they're really not bad.
Yeah. And they got the same problems we do. There's people that are strung out on drugs. They got a problem with addictions. Mm-hmm. And that's, that was their the main premise. But those addictions, those drugs that they had, they did some crazy things to them versus what happens. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys right now.
You never saw it?
No, as you guys were talking, I was trying to place the movie, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this movie. But as soon as you said sour milk, I was like, I know that movie.
Yep.
I just forgot the name of it.
There's a lot of heavy stuff going on in that movie, like addiction and racism,
slavery.
Oh yeah, slavery.
Slavery, and it's like, jeez.
But no, I remember James Caan. He was great in that.
Now, Matt, did you watch the series?
Oh, I love the series. I ate Alien Nation up. I just watched it like religiously. I was so mad when it got canceled.
But then they did all those TV movies.
Yeah, they made the TV movies.
Yeah, Dark Horizon was, I think I saw. Yeah, Dark Horizon. I don't know if I saw that.
I would I wish they would bring Alien Nation back.
Don't tempt them. You never know.
I heard rumors of V coming back, so I don't know.
Well, they did, and it bombed. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It did last for 2 seasons, though.
Was that during the writer's strike? I can't remember.
So, like 2006, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
That was V, the remake.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah, I would love to see an updated version of Alien Nation. I think it would be good. Like, you could even do it 30 years later. 20, 25 years later. How things have changed in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they've graduated to chocolate sour milk.
or cashew milk or almond milk or something.
Well, that was actually a big thing about the species was they're very adaptable, and even like eventually even their weaknesses like on Earth, like salt water killed them, but then it said that with a little time they could even overcome that. So.
All right. So next up, Nick.
Okay, so for this last one, I was sort of waffling between the two, and I'll mention the second one after. But I finally decided I'm going to have to go with Willow.
Willow,
yes.
I liked it, and I still like it, and I'll watch it, and I'll love it because it's Willow and it's great. It comes so close to being totally awesome, and I can't quite put my finger on what is keeping it just from that little, getting right up top, but.
Just 4 words for you: George Lucas and Ron Howard.
Yeah. I wasn't going to be the one to say it, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I love this movie. I watched it over and over again. It was one of my, it was definitely one that I would stop and watch if I saw it flipping through the channels or something. I'd watch some of it. Val Kilmer in the mid to late 80s was doing pretty good back then. He was good.
No, he was hot.
Yeah.
Madigan.
Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a long time. I really would actually. It pops into my mind every once in a while that I'd like to watch it again, but I don't even know where to start. I don't own it. But
kind of basically a ripoff of Star Wars if you really broke it down.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, it's the hero's journey, but yeah, it's definitely it hits the beats too.
Yeah, I mean, it's got 2 bumbling brownies. You could replace those with R2-D2 and C-3PO, and it's got Han Solo in it. And
yeah, it's got the Princess Leia character and Sorsha. Yep. Wow, it does hit damn near every beat.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious when
Maybe
you watch
that's
it.
why. Maybe
We were so starved without Star Wars for going on 5 years now. It's like, oh, we'll take this.
I did like some of the creature effects, though. I thought they were pretty awesome.
Well, of course. It's Star Wars.
But for those that don't listen to the previous episodes of 80's Reboot, Nick has a big thing for Ewoks.
Shut up, Dave.
Which Warwick Davis was.
So Warwick Davis was
the lead Ewok, I guess you'd call him.
Yep.
And an impossibly cute baby. That baby was too cute. I was like,
yeah, seriously.
Oh, it's like, what the hell?
Laura Dannon. How they got the baby to smile as much as she did? I don't know. And Kevin Pollak was one of the brownies. I remember that now.
Oh, that was Kevin Pollak. I'm trying to remember who that was. One of the characters was hysterical. Those little guys.
Oh, the baby.
Nice.
I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but we watched it again in college, and then from like that point on, to the end of college, occasionally, every so often we would just go, "I stole the baby."
Stole the baby.
Yeah, his character name was Rule.
Yep. Rule and Frungian.
I do remember racing home after school because it premiered on a Friday, and I raced home after school, and I had to hop on a bus to go to the movie theater to go see Willow.
And were you disappointed then?
Yes. Yes.
Because you obviously you don't like it now much. I mean, you think it's kind of questionable, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
It had a lot of great ideas.
It had a really lot of great ideas, and it was just like you ended up going like, that was it. that? Wait,
yep.
Did I miss something?
And then they did novel sequels, and they were just totally off the rails. I forget the names of them now, but they did write book sequels to the movies after movies failed, and they're a whole different ball of wax. I can't even really describe it.
I'm sure George Lucas had his little trilogy planned.
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean, very quotable though, and I don't know, for anyone who played the NES back then, the Willow NES game was awesome. Anyone who's listening who played that, give it a
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it was a little RPG, and it was a lot of fun, and it was oftentimes more fun than the movie. But and I'm looking at IMDb, I totally forgot. With a little bit of maturity, yeah, George Lucas had named one of his, like, the main bad guy aside from Queen Badmorta, General Kale, after Pauline Kael, the critic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I completely forgot about that.
Pat Roach, the big guy from Indiana Jones who always got in the fights.
All right, so we're going to move on to Matt.
I picked 2 bad movies. Should I go for a third? I don't think I have a third.
Make it a trifecta, come on.
I don't think I have a third. Yeah, I don't have a third.
Oh, come on. There's got to be something you
dude.
can... There's plenty of bad movies to choose from.
Really?
There's plenty of good ones.
There's plenty of good ones. Yeah, I could rip one of those apart.
All right, Matt. Well, we'll get back to you. I'm going to pick Scrooged.
Oh, there we
yes.
go. There we go.
So, I went with a Christmas movie at the beginning of this with Die Hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end with another Christmas movie, but this one's more obvious of Christmas movie. I love this remake of just the whole, Christmas Carol. And I don't know, Bill Murray just was awesome in this movie for me. So I just loved Scrooge, and I just, it was well done. I love the the modern take, of this story. So I don't know. I mean, do you guys see anything bad with this movie?
Watch it every year.
Yeah.
All right.
It's one of those movies that I watch every year. We usually put it in around Christmas time just for the fun, because it's such a fun. It's hysterical. Bill Murray is awesome in that movie, and just the whole premise of the original show. Dang it, it's totally gone out of my mind now. That's what happens when you're pushing 50. Or
the very beginning when when they're doing the advertisement for A Christmas Carol, and then he decides that the promo wasn't good enough, and then he does the super violent one.
Somebody had
and then Bobcat was great in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, get louder, milk.
Honey, I'm sorry. I don't know how I'm going to tell you this, but he's all timid. His character was a little different than what he was usually playing.
I was going to say he was a surprisingly some dude role for Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah,
right.
I think he only yelled once, and that was towards the end.
Yep, when he lost his mind.
Yeah, when he had the shotgun in the production room, or in the whatever room that was. Yeah, it's a good time.
And then Carol Kane, the ghost of Christmas Present. Every time she hit him, it was just. I
guess it was real a couple times too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like she got into it, and I think she actually whacked him a couple times. Hopefully not with the toaster, but.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I love Karen Allen from when she was in Indiana Jones, and she was the cute lost girlfriend Claire. It was overall just great.
Very dark, like a dark take, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially his old boss, instead of being like the chained ghost, the whole rotting corpse thing. That's another one where I was a little too young the first time I saw it. They rented it thinking, oh, it's a nice Christmas Carol, Bill Murray, funny, haha. Yeah, and then they put it on, and you're just like, oh, okay, let's ride it out. But as you got older, you definitely appreciated it, because he was at the height of his powers there. Bill Murray was.
I just read that Sam Kinison was originally slated to play the part of the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh,
how cool would that?
That would have been cool.
Wow.
I did like what's the dude's name? He was in New York Dolls.
Poindexter.
Poindexter.
Dexter Poindexter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of his real name, but yeah, he was
David
Johansen. Yeah, he did a lot of character work. Yeah, he the cabbie there. That's what Genghis Khan said. Then he saw his mother, Niagara Falls.
Awesome. And then the part where he wanted to staple the antlers to the.
Staples.
It's family friendly, so I'm not going to repeat the line, but it's the hammering.
Yup.
Will someone stop the hammering?
Exactly.
If I hear a loud noise that's bothering me, that's usually what goes through my mind.
First instinct.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we've known this for years, but Bill Murray plays just a complete self-centered a-hole so well. And,
he nailed it.
and you still love him for it. He's he's a self-centered, horrible, selfish person, and you still are just laughing along with him. It's like, how many figures does Mrs. Santa Claus have? 6. It's crap. I don't want in my office.
Oh, and then you got cameos. Mary Lou Retton.
Tiny
Tim. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
is Tiny Tim.
God, I kind of wish it was Christmas now. I want to watch that. Yeah, where it not only drops the crutch, but does a forward somersault.
Yeah, and if you look up the cast, it says her name twice. Mary Lou Retton herself.
Yep, Tiny Tim.
Playing the Screwjettes were the Solid Gold Dancers.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to say my mom will appreciate that.
Little shout out to Nick's mom. All right, so Matt, we gave you enough time, sir.
All right, well, I tried to find a really bad movie to laugh at, but I couldn't do it.
Come on, there are 3,295 titles of movies released in 1988.
Oh, I probably didn't see them all. So I'll just pick one of my favorites, Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
hell
good
yeah.
call.
And that thing is just full of imagination, and it was like nothing anybody's seen on film before. I mean, it was just insane.
That was Tim Burton when he burst onto the mainstream, right? That was like his big thing when he first came out.
Yeah, it was like his second movie after Pee-wee.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing is just pure Tim Burton through and through.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton just...
Yeah, Michael Keaton, yeah.
Michael Keaton just owned that part. He just became...
He so did. He so did.
I'm feeling kind of anxious, if you know what I mean.
Like Millennium.
Yeah, and a young Alec Baldwin in that one. You hardly even recognize him in it. He's a lot thinner in it.
Well, he was so sedate, too. He wasn't like the Alec Baldwin type role.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't like a huge monstrous role for Alec Baldwin or Gina Davis. I mean, they were there and they did it well, but I can't think of as memorable scenes as, like, for instance, Michael Keaton.
No,
right. Well, I remember when they tried to come up with the scary faces, and Gina Davis stretches her face out, pokes her eyes into her head. Alec Baldwin, I think he puts his eyeballs on his hands. He's got like an eyeball on each end of his fingers.
Right.
The scene where they actually go to the other side, or whatever you want to call it, and they're talking to the old what's her name, the old lady. She's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh, I know the character named Juno.
Yeah, and you got the busload of football guys that are sitting outside.
Yeah. Football guys.
Hey, coach, what are we wait? Where are we supposed to be going next?
The coach ain't here. He survived.
And then the waiting room, with the long numbers, and Beetlejuice takes the headhunter's number is like number 6, but Beetlejuice is like 15 digits long or something.
I also like the idea that if you commit suicide in life, in the afterlife, you have to become a civil servant.
Oh, right, like the guy carrying around the files, dropping them on desks, hanging from the ceiling on a roller.
Yep, and the receptionist has got her slit wrist there.
Yeah. Yeah, the imagination that went into this movie was really phenomenal. You really think about it, and some of the things that they came up with are just awesome.
And Winona Ryder, was that her big breakout role too, or? I know she'd been in stuff before, but was that the one that really got her noticed?
I don't know, but I fell in love with her there.
Yep.
It's like, I want Winona Ryder.
Yep. A lot of guys got their little goth fixation for Winona Ryder in that movie.
Yeah, I would have to agree. She was attractive in that.
Well, if you want to remember her from Lucas, she was in 1986.
Oh, right. Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice callback. Very well done.
Yep.
But I wouldn't remember that. I just remember Goth.
And her family, just the yuppies. And
the yuppies and the crazy... Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara is hysterical in that. God.
The weird rooms.
She's so bizarre.
And the poor dad just wants to rest.
The dad wants to put his little models together.
Then friggin' Otho.
Oh God, I forgot about that guy.
He's a little odd.
That's just a great dinner scene too. That dinner scene's awesome.
Hey-oh.
Oh geez, what was that? Harry Belafonte?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then at the very end, I think that also gave kind of a boost to Harry Belafonte's music because it had Banana Boat song, and then it had Shake Sonora at the very end.
Yeah, that's a great.
Oh yeah,
that's a great closing scene.
It
a lot
is
of fun. It's just so fun. This is a good pick, Mac. I like this pick.
Yeah, very good. I watch that every Halloween if I can.
Wow, we're ending this with two movies that kind of glorify ghosts
and death.
Yeah, Scrooged and Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I had a few others. Like, what were the ones that you kind of wish we had more time for, but didn't?
Oh, I got a list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we should just go to Twitter for that. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got a Twitter list going.
Okay,
so
can I do an honorable mention for my wife? She said this has to be on my list, and it didn't make it.
Okay.
No, we don't do honorable mentions for wives. No, not on our show. No.
They have to be hosts.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
Cocktail.
Oh.
I was gonna go Cocktail, and I thought I can't even acknowledge that it's so bad that it's fun. It's not even in that category.
Oh, come on, Elizabeth.
We had to go there, didn't we?
Elizabeth Shue. It's still a fun movie.
It's not even fun.
I know.
One of those.
It's actually.
This goes in the whole line of the Tom Cruise movies where he's the greatest at everything he possibly does.
This is another one of those movies that broke Hollywood.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry. Let's have him stand up and do a poem. Come on.
I apologize.
Who wants to become a competitive bartender? I mean, come on. Seriously.
And I felt sorry for his partner there. Poor Brian Brown. The hell?
Yeah, who ends up taking his own life later in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of dark. It took a dark twist there.
Yeah, seriously. It's just about bartending. And
yeah, nope, it's not just about bartending.
And I mean, I don't know, like, that's cool and all that you could do the dances and the shaking and everything, but I just want a drink, you know? I'm sitting at the bar and I'm seeing these guys do the dance. I'm just like, can I have my beer, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, Jesus, I didn't pay for a damn show. Oh, look, you can twirl a bottle. Really? Yeah. Is it in my glass?
Yes. I didn't order a martini. Can someone else give me a beer while these guys are dancing, please?
I swear that one of the girls that tried to pick Tom Cruise up at the bar, or not pick him up, but she was giving him a certain kind of eyes. If you know what I'm saying about?
Mm-hmm.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember that.
I swear she was in a Robert Palmer video.
She was one of
the what was that? Those videos that Robert Palmer did that were all
those background dancers?
The girls with the slick back hair.
Yep. Simply Irresistible and all that? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well, very good.
But yeah, I would watch that for Elizabeth Shue, and that's about it. So,
not the hippie shake? Come on, Dave.
No. All right, so we got to jump off of that, go to not hippie shake, but go to Yippee-Ki-Yay. And then Yippee-Ki-Yay, we're going to go to Twitter shoutouts.
Yippee-Ki-Yay.
We'll return after these messages.
Look around you on the streets of America and prepare yourself for a whole new world.
Get the ass, look. Well, your mother mate's out of season.
Their numbers are growing.
Welcome back, Ozzy and Harriet.
And they're here to stay. Alien Nation, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
So we're going to start off with Jesse Jackson, and as one of our co-hosts that's been on a couple of these with us, and he's at Jesse Jackson DFW, and his movie picks are Die Hard, Crossing Delancey, and Bull Durham.
Ooh, Bull Durham.
Yeah, nobody brought up Bull Durham yet.
No. We've missed a whole section of really good movies.
Yeah, I was going to say 88 had some just really good movies.
We wanted to concentrate on the bad ones, I think.
Hey, what's that you say about Willow?
Now, see, I never got Bull Durham. I didn't get the it was a huge movie, and like a lot of people talked about it and said it was such a great movie, and Kevin Costner was great, and you know the one line that he talks, you know, he like melts Susan Sarandon's heart or something with some, you know, rant about being a man. I didn't get the hype of the movie.
No, it really is overhyped. I think Bull Durham really doesn't stand up well at all. If you go back and watch it, it's like, why?
You got the very talented Timothy Robbins coming on the scene now. Yeah, he's.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. He went on to do, Shawshank, which was just phenomenal. But
and plenty of other stuff. But yeah, definitely Shawshank.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't understand why it was so popular. Why it got so popular.
All right, well, Jesse Jackson, if you want to put your hate
All right.
tweets, that's to Matt.
or at least explain it. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll have a nice, informed discussion. We don't need.
I'm sure Jesse just watched it for Susan Sarandon.
Probably. All right, so we have Nerd Out with me, and that's at Nerd Out with me. He's going with Big, Willow, Scrooged, The Great Outdoors.
Oh, Great Outdoors.
See, that was number 4 for me. I would love to have mentioned The Great Outdoors, but I had to throw a sci-fi in there with the Alien Nation. But Great Outdoors, man. John Candy again, with a great movie. And then, you got Dan Aykroyd. Just the two of them play off each other so well. You know what hot dogs are made of.
That was the, I think, 1500th movie that Dan Aykroyd starred in the 80s, I think, by that point.
Yeah, John Candy, too. He was in quite a few.
It seemed like every year they were in something. And
yeah. Benning was also in that.
Oh.
And she ended up getting the Academy Award back for what was that? Not American Dream. No, yeah, American Dream, right? With Kevin Spacey.
No. You mean, are you talking about Tucker, A Man in His Dream? Or?
No.
American Beauty. No, that's what you're talking
about. American Beauty.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, my mind's in the 80s, not the 90s.
I know. But anyway, Annette Bening, very good actress. It touched me. It's been touching you for years. You never complained about it before.
Could have talked about Action Jackson.
All right, maybe that'll show up here on Twitter. So, Geek Force at the Geek Force says top 3 is very difficult. Where to begin? Donnell Gebbin at Don P Star says he's adding Beetlejuice, Bloodsport, Coming to America. Okay, honorable mention for Young Guns.
Coming to America was on my. I couldn't decide. I was actually a 3 for when I said Willow. It was either Willow, Coming to America, or A Fish Called Wanda. But Coming to America, I could quote that movie all day long.
Eddie Murphy, definitely good stuff.
Just the barbershop old men. Oh my God.
McDowell's. Let your soul glow.
The Reverend, to this day I can still go, and I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand as they help Joshua out the lion's den. Yes.
Wow, you got that down.
Get out the whale. Yep, Gilligan. Get off the island, you Lord. Goes from the Battle of Jericho, not Joan out the well. But that's like that and Trading Places are like my 2 favorite Eddie Murphy 80s movies. I'm sorry, Beverly Hills Cop. Sorry for anyone else, but
and another reason that Hollywood was broken.
We're gonna have to have a long discussion with this whole broken in the 80s Hollywood thing, man.
Well, they just after 1988, what did they do with Eddie Murphy? Gave him anything.
Yeah. Kids movies.
Anything.
Yeah.
Flubber.
Yeah. The Distinguished Gentleman.
Vampire in Brooklyn. Harlem Nights.
I'm sure they're waiting for his musical career to take off with Party All the Time.
I like Harlem Nights.
Which was mentioned last week, right?
That's why I brought it up. All right. Bradley Emil Julian at Bradley Emil. He is going with Scrooged, Bloodsport, which just brought up earlier, and A Fish Called Wanda.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful movie, that.
I liked A Fish Called Wanda. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, that just means you're human, dude. But no, I mean, just that cast. Michael,
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Cleese, and of course Kevin Kline as Otto.
Yes.
One of the great cinematic jerks. The London Underground was not a political movement. Classic Buddhism is not every man for himself. These are all mistakes, Otto. I looked them up.
Was it Don't Ever Call Me Stupid? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then poor Michael Palin just keeps getting just worse and worse thanks to Kevin Kline.
He was probably the funniest character in that movie too.
Well, what's funny is that I was reading something. I think John Cleese said that people were saying how bad they felt for his character, and John Cleese had to go. It's like, his character was actually actively plotting the murder of an old lady, right? And then they're like, well, but she wasn't a very nice old lady.
Now, they were both Monty Python guys, right?
Yes, yeah. They're
Okay.
both the original Monty Python, yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm curious. Joshua Bartley says Rain Man, Akira, and Killer Clowns from Outer
Oh,
Space.
that's what you should have done for the bad movie, dude, was Killer Clowns.
But Matt, where are you at with Rain Man?
Rain Man is... I can watch Rain Man and enjoy it, but it's not one of my favorites, and I don't think it wasn't the best movie of the year by far. Because it won the Oscar for best movie.
Well, the Academy's always loved the inspirational story, so...
Kmart. Gotta go to Kmart.
2 minutes to Wapner.
2 minutes to Wapner, yeah.
Definitely 2 minutes to Wapner. Although at the very end... at the very end, a little bit of character growth on Raymond's part. Kmart sucks.
But it's fair.
All right.
But it's too over the top for me.
But I don't know. Akira, though, who here was into anime when they were a little younger?
I love Akira. There's three of my favorite animated movies are from 1988. That's Akira, My Neighbor Totoro, and Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, beautiful movies, all of them.
But, now, see, I never even heard of My Neighbor Totoro. I have no idea what that movie is.
It's a Miyazaki film.
Yeah, it's a Miyazaki film, and it has one scene in there that always cracks me up. When they're standing by the bus stop, it's just got like this imaginary friend. They're standing by the bus stop. It's like this giant, I don't know,
blue
thing. Furry thing. Yeah, they're standing by the bus stop. It's raining. Stops raining. There's water dripping down from the trees. And Totoro figures out that you could make the water fall by just jumping around. It just makes all the water fall. It's hilarious.
But I remember Akira was the second anime that I had ever watched after Vampire Hunter D, and it was the original English dub. So for anyone who knows exactly what I'm talking about, and it was pretty cheesy, but it was Tetsuo! It was pretty cheesy, but pretty awesome at the same time.
Oh, I loved it. I ate it up.
All right, so let me get through a couple more of these Twitters. We got Gary Barwell at Gary Barwell, and he's throwing out do a top 5 that he saw in 1988. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, Willow, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Beetlejuice, and Scrooged. So most of those we talked about, other than The Adventures. Yeah.
That was a Terry Gilliam movie. That was pretty... It had all the coolness, but also kind of pacing problems inherent in every Terry Gilliam movie.
Yeah. If you're not a Terry Gilliam fan, then there's no hope for you. You either like it or you don't. There's no in between.
All right, so Tristan Lofting at Tristan Lofting says 1988 for me means Willow. I saw it twice in the cinema. Reflex action movie.
That's not a scene
star. Reflex action movie at Run, Hide, Kill is going with Die Hard, naturally. Akira, Big. Special mention to Mississippi Burning.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Mississippi Burning was, for me, that was my favorite movie of the year.
Wow, really?
Well, then how come you didn't bring it up, man?
Because I wanted to go bad.
Yeah.
Because it made it more entertaining.
I was going to say, Mississippi Burning requires you to think. It requires you to think and reflect on your choices in life. We just kind of want to talk about stupid things.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it was. It was a really well done movie, but it was hard to watch too. It
is hard to watch.
Sometimes it's pretty dark, and you gotta come to terms with the way things were back. What was that? Took place in the early '60s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 50s or 60s.
50s, yeah, late 50s, early 60s, when the movement was really. It was pretty hard to watch. So.
And that's why the Academy picked Rain Man.
Was it? Well, it was nominated at least, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nominated.
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't remember who was nominated, but I wouldn't doubt it. It was very, Gene Hackman's an amazing actor too, especially in the Poseidon Adventure.
Yep, we're just back to the bad movies, ain't we?
Sorry. I had to break the tension.
I know, we were actually kind of serious and thoughtful. Never forfeit.
All right, yippee-ki-yay. Anyway, Jason R. Wells, Esquire, at JR Wells 82 says, Midnight Run, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Die Hard. 88 was a tough year for just 3 picks.
Great.
Midnight Run, was that not Dabney Coleman?
It's Charles Grodin and...
Thank you, Charles Grodin, yeah.
And Robert De Niro?
Yeah. Actually, that was pretty fun. I remember that being a pretty funny movie. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a very funny movie, actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time.
An accountant is chased by bounty hunters, the FBI, and the Mafia after jumping bail. Wow. That's a lot of people.
And the banter between the two of them was great.
Yeah.
Charles Grodin just plays put upon so well. See Beethoven.
All right, so Amanda Gillingwater at Langlebug. Well, I said that wrong. Langlebug. My Neighbor Totoro, Die Hard, Beetlejuice, They Live, and Bloodsport.
And now I think enough people have mentioned we got to talk a little about Bloodsport.
I don't know why.
It's pretty much Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat existed.
Yeah, it's not even that graphic though.
Well, for the 80s it was.
I suppose.
I mean, unless you discount Roadhouse.
Come on, Roadhouse was awesome.
Oh, what year was that?
I think that was
89.
It might be 89.
That might be for next time.
Oh, that's the next time, huh? 89. Yep, you're right.
Now, was this Jean-Claude Van Damme's debut, Bloodsport?
Was it his debut? That's a good question.
I don't think so.
Do you see it? Do you see his profile picture on IMDb? That is a killer. That is a killer mullet right there. Oh man.
Oh, Jean-Claude.
How old is that? How old is that picture? That's got to be from the 80s.
Oh God! I'm looking at it right now. Looks like Billy Ray Cyrus. No, I don't think he's updated his headshot on IMDb in a while. Whoa, he's making a sequel to Kickboxer.
All right, so while you guys are doing that, I've got to bring up something on Twitter that I don't think we've actually brought up yet. This is Darth Sean at DarthSean85, and he mentions Great Outdoors, Coming to America, but Twins.
Ooh,
yeah.
I don't think Twins made anybody's list yet.
Well, again, you see, like, I was looking at just the list of 88 movies, and I saw Twins, but I'm just like, do I want to put it in my top 3? It's a great movie, but...
No, okay, now hold on. You thought that was a great movie?
Funny, in a funny sense, in a comedy sense.
I'm going mad on this one. I can't agree with that.
Really? I loved this. I thought it was hysterical. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. That's good stuff.
And it was like one of the first Arnold comedy movies, like where he played something not action related.
I don't know. I mean, Schwarzenegger had his thing with the action flicks, and what's Matt's phrase? Broke Hollywood.
No. If anything, that was actually kind of a unique idea for the time. Take big, muscly, strong, silent type action.
But this all came from Twins. Yeah. If he didn't make Twins, he wouldn't make Kindergarten Cop.
No one speaks bad about a Kindergarten Cop in my presence. I'm sorry. No, that's a story for another day.
It's not a tumor.
Not a tumor.
I'm your brother.
Yeah,
it's not a tumor. It's the same
Twins
guy.
Was great. And I gotta say, if only for one scene where he and his love interest finally consummate things, as it were.
Oh yeah,
and it shows her sleeping, and then it pans over to him.
The fabulous Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston, and it pans over to him, and he's just got the biggest, wide, cheesiest grin on his face.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he spent his entire life raised by scientists, so.
I can't say this is a good movie for 88.
The problem.
No.
My main problem with Twins is it was fine up till 2/3 of the movie, then it turned into an action movie.
Yeah, well, they hadn't quite. I don't think they trusted themselves. It's like, can we do a full comedy with Arnold, or do we need a bit of an action thing?
Yeah.
There's a great kill scene in that too, though. The guy that gets crushed to death by a big.
It's completely
chains.
It's completely over the top and unnecessary.
80's Reboot Overdrive. We're on 12.
For those that are tuning in, we're on the second hour of discussing and justifying for Twins. Crazy.
Nothing wrong.
All right, so that's all I got for the Twitter
David
stuff.
Caruso was in Twins.
Oh yeah.
Just get back to Yippee. Come on.
I'm not your brother.
It's been a while since everybody had a shot.
All right,
so
here we go.
If we're going to mention movies from our wives, I guess I have to mention honorable mention to She's Having a Baby.
Oh,
good Kevin Bacon
movie. Yeah,
Kevin Bacon, and I don't remember the lead.
Oh,
his wife,
Elizabeth McGovern.
Yeah.
She's in Downton Abbey now.
John Hughes.
Yeah, that was
that's
like one.
That's all I have.
That was like a serious flick. It had comedy to it, but it was more of a down to earth sort of thing. I think.
Honestly, for all the John Hughes movies, it's this one and Ferris Bueller. I think are my two favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of every John Hughes movie, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Because he's got, like we mentioned before, The Great Outdoors is one of his. Did you not love The Great Outdoors?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that was 87 though.
I know. Well, but you're talking about all of John Hughes' oeuvre.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, if we're bringing up movies for wives, then I probably need to bring up a movie that I have absolutely nothing to talk about, but Mystic Pizza.
Dude, we just watched that like 2 days ago. I am not kidding you. We went to the library and she grabs Mystic Pizza off the shelf and we watched it. It's actually good. Just Julia Roberts. It's funny.
You gotta write taglines. It's actually pretty good.
I'd be a good critic. I'd give it, a couple of stars.
It's actually pretty good. If you got some time.
I would just like to make a note for any female listening. Here at 80's Reboot Overdrive, we are in fact all 12-year-old boys.
Yes.
So please don't take what we say with any degree of seriousness.
I've only been one for about 35 years.
Oh my God! How come we didn't bring up the naked
guy?
guy?
My God!
That was my next mention.
Because we'd be here for the next hours movie.
Speaking of 12-year-old boys,
that's a nice fever. That's a nice fever.
Nice beaver. Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Oh my God!
1988 movie year in review part 2.
And it's all just naked gun quotes.
All right, guys. Let's do some parting thoughts for 1988 movies in review. Scott, what do you got?
I gotta say, there's a lot of good ones and a lot of bad ones. even the bad ones, I love to go back and watch every once in a while. Like I might have to watch Mac and Me just
You cannot live unless
say
you've
I
seen
did.
it.
Just to say I did.
I've seen it. I kind of don't want to live.
What do you guys think? Do we should do like a live tweet event for 80s Reboot with Mac and Me?
Oh boy,
I'm afraid you will have to pay me for this one.
I already did Dead Heat, so I don't know. My quota might be met.
All right, so Nick, what do you got for parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts. Well, I have to say that even though I didn't get to talk about it, well, no, I mean, I think we said what we needed to say, with all our movies and even though I didn't get to talk about The Punisher, I guess we can leave it as is. Oh, no, wait, that's 89, never mind, sorry.
Yep, jumping forward there.
Although I do have to say, as a shout-out to the Red Menace episode, we didn't talk about Red Heat either, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you didn't. Yep.
Great movie. One of Jim Belushi's finest.
Another movie that broke Hollywood.
What, you don't buy it Austrian as a Russian?
No, the whole buddy cop movie nonsense. Over and over again.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. Well, there still are. I mean,
yeah.
They just keep going with them.
Yeah, it's not going to go away. Or we didn't talk about Moonwalker either, but...
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah. All right, so Matt, what do you got for final thoughts?
I don't know. We didn't mention Oliver and Company.
Oh, that was a great movie. I saw that with my dad.
Yeah. Just for all those really young kids back in the 80s.
Had Billy Joel in it.
That's right. He did. Didn't he do the music?
Yeah, he did the music for it. Yep. It's him, Bette Midler, Cheech Marin.
Now, you know more about it than I do, so leave it to you.
Yeah, it's tough being the young one here.
And My Stepmother's an Alien is another classic Kim Basinger movie.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Was that Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
How did he find time to sleep is what I want to know.
I don't know. That's, what, three Dan Aykroyd movies in 1 year? Or two? I know.
Just
Great
how
Outdoors.
Funny is Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh, there you go.
Steve Martin.
Jim Carrey.
No, Jim Carrey.
Oh,
yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, yep.
Gina
when he-
Davis.
Oh,
Davis,
that
yep,
one.
yeah.
I'm thinking of something else.
One of Jeff Goldblum's less weird roles. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. That's another bad movie you could have done.
All right, well, speaking of bad movies, I've got to bring up Police Academy 5. Assignment Miami Beach. And the only reason why I bring this up is because I had such a thing for Janet Jones. Janet Jones is the one that she was with Flamingo Kid. She was in a movie called American Anthem. And then she went ahead and married some guy named Wayne Gretzky, some nobody, rather than marrying me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is about her that she would pick him over me, but anyway.
Apparently she likes basketball players.
So, Police Academy 5, Assignment Miami Beach. That was a movie she was in 1988. But I don't want to end it with that, so I've got to say yippee-ki-yay. So for those that are doing your shot drinks at home, please...
That's like 8.
Yeah. We haven't done enough.
8, maybe 10.
Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yay.
I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, I'm doing shots of iced tea right now, so...
All right. So, Scott, where do people find you on Twitter?
At Scott's Eye.
Nick?
At WheelIamCrow on Twitter. And if I could just make a quick shout out, I haven't done writing for them in a little bit, but I plan on starting, and they're also, I just want to shout out because they're really awesome. UnstoppableGamer.com. It's a gaming website with reviews from a disabled perspective, and it's also run by the Able Gamers charity who work to make gaming more accessible for people with all ability levels, and they're pretty awesome too, so check them out.
Very cool. All right, Matt.
I'm on Twitter at MattMcLean73.
And I am Dave, and I take care of the 80s Reboot Twitter account, so that's at 80s Reboot. And don't forget, you can find us on Tumblr at 80sreboot.tumblr.com, and of course our Facebook, which is facebook.com/80s Reboot. And we very appreciate you reliving the 80s with us. Thank you for listening.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Beat me to it. It was just on the top of my tongue.
I will find a beep. Oh, very cool.
One of us had to do it.
Most definitely.
Just waiting for it.
All right, guys. This was
Thanks.
a lot of fun.
Yep.
Definitely. Thanks again, guys.
Yep.
All right. You guys have a good night.
We hope you've enjoyed this show. This podcast is part of the 80's Reboot Overdrive channel on Southgate Media Group. You can follow us on Facebook on the 80's Reboot group page. We're also on Twitter and Tumblr at 80's Reboot. We invite you to check out all the wonderful podcasts and blogs available at southgatemediagroup.com. And thank you for reliving the 80s.